Hello and thank you for watching my video. Today is a video, it is an open challenge to both Matt Visual and Wooden Potatoes, Guild Wars 2 creators out there. And for those of you as well who've watched some of their videos, I got involved in making videos partly from watching some of their footage, and I actually created some content for myself. And this is a jumping puzzle in my guild hall. So those of you who've been watching my videos, you'll notice another one over there in the over to the side. This one here is a jumping puzzle that I designed in the Lost Precipice, primarily to be the hardest jumping puzzle that you could ever do in Guild Wars 2. And what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to take you on a tour, and what I'm going to do is just show you and explain a few components regarding this jumping puzzle. I'm not going to give away everything. I am going to take you on a tour, but there will be bits that will be fast forwarded so that you can't get an exact way to work out how to do all the jumps. But this is a substantial jumping puzzle, and so far, no one in my guild has been able to do it without a mesmer. And this really does punish jumpers, and I will have to say, you know, even on a mesmer, it takes me a long time to do this. It takes me about half an hour to do this jumping puzzle because of the amount of times I mess up. And I wanted to show you just this. This is how creative we've been, and the reason this is a permanent fixture in our guild hall, primarily because the very first day we got the guild hall, we wanted to create a jumping puzzle, and you'll notice all these poles here because you could buy them for 1 guild commendation. And me and another guildie of mine, we actually said, look, we want to create a jumping puzzle, and so it's sort of a monument. They have been here since the very first day we got the guild hall. And as you can see, as with all starting jumping puzzles, generally we start with 3 stacked pumpkins and a torch. So we can go along here. This is where you start off. There is a sort of slight graphical glitch that you have to do to walk into to actually get onto these poles. So here we go, we're going to jump onto there. You'll notice we've obviously got the portal up because we will be needing that a lot. As you can see there, it's very easy to make mistakes. And the reason why we're using these poles, well, first of all, they are very tall, so you can get to some high places. They also have one of the hardest points to jump onto because there's such a small surface area. As again I mess up, but there's such a small surface area that it actually is very, very hard to jump on them, and we use these a lot. The point of jumps is that it's supposed to be hard to land, and as you can see here, we're jumping along nicely now. We managed, but I'm just showing you how tricky these jumps can be because, you know, look at these jumps, they're quite high. You know, again, you've got to be pretty precise with your jumping, and this is just the first part. You know, I'm going to skip forward so you can go and see where this goes, but let me skip forward and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so eventually we've actually made it over, and you can see I've been using a bit of alacrity to actually speed up my jumps, or sort of speed up the portal recharge. And this bit again, it's kind of tricky in the fact you have to obviously jump up, but to make across some of those very, very small jumps. This here is kind of tricky as well because you have to jump on this pumpkin without falling off, because if you do that, then you have to start all over again. So you've got that little tiny ledge, and it's kind of tricky to do while I'm under pressure. There we go. So we're up, and we go up onto the crates here, and it's looking around, well, where do we go next? And it's onto the lovely cloud here, or the snow, and we're up, and we're climbing the boxes, stacked nicely. and then we have to fly over there, and they've got the pumpkins to go up. And you notice these are over here, and that is where we have to get to. And it goes up and up and up and up. So the end, the finishing line is up a lot higher. Wow, this is going to be a long jumping puzzle. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you me progressing along and seeing some tricky challenges, and we'll come back in a little bit. Okay, so we are at the top here, and I have designed this so that you can't actually glide all the way over to this section over here. Obviously that is a big safety zone, and this bit right here, this is the killer. You see, to get over to the side, over to that ledge over there, you need to jump onto these poles here. These are quite spaced out apart. It does require some significant finesse regarding gliding, and not only that, if you fail, you could be right back at the beginning, meaning you have to do those pole jumps all over again, come over here, up the stacks of boxes, up to here, and then try again. Hence why a mesmer is very useful. So let's see how we do. Okay, so you rejoin me, and I have managed to get the first part done. Little secret, this was actually where the jumping puzzle initially ended. It's gone through several variations. However, I decided to extend it because I saw some jumping puzzles and I thought, you know what, that was a substantial jumping puzzle, but it wasn't anywhere near as long enough, especially if it's going to be a challenge for Wooden Potatoes and Map Visual. This has got to be something epic, and this is where we get to the epic stage. So, we've made all that way across, we've done all that work, now we get to a dangerous area. This is the bit, probably my worst bit of the entire jumping puzzle. You know, we thought this bit was hard, this bit gives you even more nerves. Now this bit leads you out into fresh air. If you drop down after that, you're screwed. And you again have to start at the very beginning. Not only that, you get to this stage where you have to climb up, and you get to the climbing wall. There are three basically safety nets. These three clouds here, piles of snow, these are actually what I've created in here. These piles of snow actually shouldn't be here. They're just there so that you can actually watch me do this. It's just a quick cheat. Basically, while I was building these piles of snow are actually going to be removed, and so that means the only way to get back up here is going around the outside onto this perilously dangerous and really sort of sky high section. There is a bit where you actually look down at the entire guild hall, and it is scary. You know that one missed jump and your work for all that time is wasted, and you have to start over again. So let's go back. These three clouds here, if you go up the jumping wall and you carry on going up and up and up and up, if you fall off one of those, you can get back onto the wall. And that's actually where these three, if you're climbing up these pumpkins, you fall off, and you miss the crates, boom, you get to land on one of these snow bits, you try again. However, if you fail and drop to this ledge here, well then you have to do this ring again. You have to go around this ring. So watch now as I am going to attempt to do this on my mesmer. Okay, so just a quick note, I had to get a little bit of help to do this section here. I got this with my Guildie Arctic. who gave me a hand because this is kind of tricky to actually do the jumps. And not only that, it's something I very rarely do. So I had him on his Mesmer, and the two of us were making sure that we were going to do this together, because this is one of the scariest things, and we don't do this part of the jumping puzzle very often at all. In fact, we haven't done it in such a while, we completely forgot that you actually can do some of these jumps. And we were like, well, you're going to need a pillow lower down, and someone was like, no, we can do it. Oh, there we go, we can jump. And so that's what you're going to see. Me and Arctic actually, you know, he was saying, you're not going to make those, and I was like, yes, I am. I already have done it once before. I did actually have to put in a pillow because I had forgotten that I'd accidentally removed a pillar by mistake at a previous time, and I had to re-put it, and I put it back in the wrong position. So here we go, and this is us doing this little section, and it is scary as insert vowel insert bad language. It's damn scary, and with that fall that you have to start all the way at the beginning like that, you can see that is something that happens. Fortunately, you have the ability to port, go all the way down there and give them way back up. And this is where I'm hoping that anybody, like, you know, particularly Map Visual or WP, I am going to give them the benefit of having a Mesmer, or I will come along and be their Mesmer. Just basically because this is an extremely hard jumping puzzle. It is extremely punishing. It is cruel, vicious, and like that. Such a pain in the ass. Oh, man. This is with two Mesmers as well. I mean, this is how, like, dangerous this jumping puzzle is, and this is why I designed this. I wanted something that was going to be a real pain for people. So, without further ado, I am going to let you see me carry on, and when I get up to the lattice, I'm going to carry on just as myself, because Arctic had to do something else. He was going to go and do the Shatter event, so at this point now I will carry on. So we've gone past the climbing wall, and now we go up on the stairwell. Now the stairwell is made out of tables, and they're not too tricky jumps to make. However, you do get rather nervous if you know that if you fall down, you will lose that safety net that you've had, and you will probably have a long journey ahead of you. And the jumps get slightly bigger as they get further up the side of the cliff face. And you really have to sort of concentrate and really take it, you know, sort of as slow as you can. And this bit up here, when we get into the snow section, some of these are slightly different, as you'll see there. And fortunately, I can make it all the way back to the pumpkins, and I've missed that pumpkin, so there I am. So by doing that, you'd think on the easy section, I actually failed it, and I'm going to have to climb all the way back up again. Okay, so you see me, I'm back up here again with the snow section, and it's making sure that I actually do concentrate while I'm doing this. Again, we're into some interesting jumping territory. We'll put the portal down just in case we can't make it. They should be fairly easy jumps. Again, you've got a mixture of gliding and jumping, and that can actually mess people up because sometimes it's just a jump and you might glide and overshoot. So it is a bit of a pain, and some of these jumps are pretty tricky, especially when they're very close to the wall, and you know that you have to get up there, otherwise you're going for a big fall. And it can get very, very nervous. And you're looking like here, well, where do I go? And you've got to think, well, I need to get on that little cushion up there to get onto these spirals. So I'm going to stop talking now while I try and do this section. Okay, so I managed to climb up that section, and now we are into the final section of this jumping puzzle. This is what I call the end game situation. Basically, you mess up now, you will not be doing the jumping puzzle. It's fairly straightforward. We've got a couple of boulders, or 3 boulders that you actually have to climb on, and there is one that is pretty tricky. Oh god, the first one is very tricky. And this one here is basically just to get up to this initial stage, and I really am struggling to get on that first boulder. And the second one, well, this is going to be going very well. Basically, yeah, so we need to get on the top of that. They're shaped pretty uneven, meaning you can't sort of land very well on it, and knowing where the best place to jump off it or to jump onto the next one is pretty tricky. So what we're going to do, I'm going to take a break again from talking to you guys because it is harder to concentrate and talk as we do this jumping puzzle, as you can see there. But when you get round to this, what I'll show you here, we get bookshelves. Now bookshelves are fantastic as a little gateways to little ledges to stick out, but they're very narrow, and you're going to see how fun this is going to be. Do you want to know what the worst thing is as we wait for my portal to recharge? Looking down on the entire guild hall from here. I mean, my god, just that, looking right down. What they tell you is true. Do not look down because, wow, that is an insane drop right there. And my poor little Mesmer, oh, she is pretty afraid of heights. I mean, look at that. You'll get people running around, coming out of the main waypoint, running around down there. No idea. All the way up here is me standing on a small little ledge. So, as my portal recharges, where have we got to go? Well, you might notice there's a slight bit of snow on that there. That is a backup ledge. Basically, if you get round to the side here, because it doesn't just keep going around, sort of up, it goes around as well. If you jump and you miss, you'll be able to get back onto there and use a portal. Because if you fail, the next ledge is too far down for you to port back up, and you will be screwed. Enjoy. So after almost 40 minutes with missing the last bookshelf again, god, that would have been painful if I'd done that twice. We're going to complete the jumping puzzle. So this is an open invitation to Matt Visual and Wooden Potatoes. Visual Wood, come and try my jumping puzzle. This is the Wooden Potatoes level of difficulty jumping puzzle that I think you'll have a lot of fun with and a lot of pain as well. But I think you definitely enjoy it, and let's see if you can beat my score of 40 seconds. Now you're going to see a first-person view of my jumping puzzle. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave any comments, and I'll see you on the next one.